Yay, we're finally at the end of the season.
We're finally here.
It's hard to believe, considering that we just finished Tiga not too long ago with her cheap ass. Let's wait a couple of years before we do the movie ending.
Except this movie was immediate.
Yeah. It's like how do you describe the Tiga movie? It's like imagine having that Bokenger versus Geki Ranger baton pass at the end of Bokenger episode 49, except you have that play out in 2009 instead of 2007.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
Yeah, both seasons will have already been over and then some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it'd
but
be
here,
Chinkenger.
yeah, but at least here it's like, oh, look at that. The movie's actually filmed right after the series is over. Yay. Man, how convenient is it that this series is only 25 episodes now, so we actually have the goddamn time to make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome everyone to the UltraQuest podcast here on the Morphin Network. I'm Mike, that's XL, and we are here to discuss the one and only final installment of Ultraman Rube. Ultraman Rube, the movie, Select the Crystal of Bonds. And honestly, when I hear Crystal Bonds, I'm thinking, so Ultraman Orb? Because, Aizen kept referring to, give me the power of bonds, whenever he turns into Orb Dark Schwarz,
Ultraman
Noir,
Orb Dark Noir
Nero,
Black Schwarz.
Kuro. Yeah. So that's that. But hey, at least I finally have a better understanding of what's Ultraman Bilal's deal.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, so this Dark Ultraman, he's not a main Ultra like some of the others have been in their crystals. He looks a little evil-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To know more about him, you're going to have to see the Ultraman Zero movies.
Wait, Zero, not Geed?
Yeah, he first shows up in the Ultra Galaxy Legends movie, and then he shows up in Ultraman Zero's movies, and then eventually he shows up in Geed's series
as the main character. That's interesting. Yeah, that's kind of odd, but hey, the writers must have their reasons to have that. I'm surprised, considering how often Zero shows up in the media. Why does Zero not have his own series? It's like he's the Kamen Rider Z-Cross of Ultraman. Yeah.
In a way, I could see that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, at least Z-Cross had his moment in what's called Kamen Rider Shinobi. At Zero, it's like he really needs to have his own series, considering how often he shows up.
Yeah, it's too bad Z-Cross and Zero didn't have their own seasons.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. So this movie takes place after the events of Ultraman Rube, as Ultraman movies tend to do in most cases. But it starts off with Katsumi just hanging out upside down inside a building, And he says, well, you're probably wondering why I'm upside down right now. Well, if we flash back to, and I'm just going to stop you right there.
All right, well, I'm not a huge fan personally of the whole 3 weeks earlier teaser thing. I feel like, we should start our stories where they begin, not start them where they get interested.
Get out.
What?
So we flash back to several weeks ago where we find out that, Asahi and Isami have already have their own dreams and want to go away and do stuff like go to college abroad or become a nurse. So I'm like, really, you're moving to Manila? What an interesting change of pace. But hey, you do you, boo boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, happy birthday to Ryan. It's his birthday. Our executive producer is turning something years old. 1 year more than what he was yesterday. Happy birthday, Ryan.
Tanjobio Medito.
Yes, insert present Kogami reference. All right. So here we go. So Katsumi is having an existential crisis, as any 20-something does, when they are majoring in philosophy instead of, say, medicine, art, liberal studies, engineering. What else is there? Communications. Yeah. He just decides to visit his friend who is... he's a Malcolm reference. Malcolm
because Trey Gear makes his kaiju that's his drawing become an actual kaiju.
But also because he has the whole recluse I'm going to lock myself in my room thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if that's a throwback to Gridman or not.
Yeah. There's so many of them too. Even one of Geeds' forms, which I'm pretty sure is unintentional in this case, but one of his forms, I swear, feels like Gridman, based on the textures and stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah. So Malcolm Frank is Katsumi's best friend, apparently, and he wants to put on more lights in a baseball stadium, but then he decides, I'm going to put on more lights on a Nintendo DS. But then I realized, oh no, I have to do secretary work like it's the Devil Wears Prada. So I quit and decided to play video games and basically cosplay as Kamen Rider Punch Hopper.
Yep.
That's pretty much the gist of it. He's got the collar and everything. And what's funny is that around the same time, you have Kamen Rider Geo on television, where you actually do have Punch Hopper making a cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Also, why is punk rock so synonymous with giving up on dreams? Don't you think that
I have no idea.
Sometimes being a punk rocker means I want to aspire to being something that you don't approve of, but at least I'm still aspiring to something. But here it's if I dress up as a punk rocker, that means I have no aspirations of any kind whatsoever.
I'm not sure.
But then, Kilocon shows up. It's hello, Malcolm. That is an interesting kaiju you drew there. It would be such a shame if it would turn into a real-life kaiju. Boop. Yes, Trigear is basically Kilocon. And I'll never get over that. I'm not going to get over that. Even in this one scene towards the end of the film, I'm not going to go into that quite yet, but geez. What was your first reaction when, you found out that this was our villain in this movie?
Trigear?
Yeah.
I think I just thought, all right, this is our villain of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we get to know more about him in the next season, which is Ultraman Taiga. He's the main villain in that.
That's interesting. So yeah, meanwhile, Isami and Ushio are getting on their security guard duties on motorcycles in
And
order
chasing
to
you say, oh wait, wrong show.
find out what Asahi is up to, and like they're thinking, oh no, she's flirting with the boy. Code red, code red, code red, block alert, block alert, block alert, and of course the main character turns out to be Riku from Ultraman
Ultraman G'd.
G with a J. Wow. Okay, man.
With a J. Kamen Rider J.
Oh man, Ultraman is so weird with its names.
Wait, and Kamen Rider J can become the size of an Ultraman.
Oh man, yeah, that's true. That is actually true. He's an Ultra Rider J. Yeah, but yeah, so RB is Rube. Geed is pronounced Jeed. Is there anything else pronunciation wise I need to know about?
No, not really. I don't think so.
All right, okay, because I would hate it if Arc. It turns out his name is gonna be like pronounced Erg.
Erg.
Ultraman Erg. It's kind of hard to mess up Arc, but hey, we turned Geed into Geed, so like Z's and Kamen Rider turning into J's. Okay, I get that. Zoo Ranger is Jew Ranger. Zooger is Jewoger. Zuden Sentai is Juden Sentai. I get it. Zio is Geo. Go Geo, Geo.
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting because in South Korea, when they dub Power Rangers Zeo, they call it Geo Ranger.
Go Geo, Geo.
You're actually not too far off. The Korean theme goes, go, go, Geo Ranger. Geo, Geo Ranger.
That's crazy, man. Like the way people pronounce things differently in other countries, it's so crazy. But yeah, so like two monsters show up, and everyone, so like all three main characters like are about to transform in front of each other. Oh, sorry. Shh. Go away. It's like
yeah, to try to fight against Bemstar and Gonkyu.
Yeah. But also it's like the way they transform is hilarious because it's like, oh no, we have to find a different hiding spot. Really? Transforming in plain sight is okay as long as someone else isn't transforming in the same spot. But yeah, so they transform into Rosso, Blue, and Geet. And they're like, oh, look, another Ultra. Oh, look, two other Ultras. Wait, why are there two of you? We'll explain that later. Ask the writing staff. Originally, Rosso was supposed to be the writer, but then they wrote me in, so I have no idea what's going on. I'm just here for the food. Either way, it's kind of crazy how like rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, Honda got more focus episodes than he did in Duel Monsters.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how that works out.
Yeah, because like Honda got 2 episodes to himself in just the first 7 episodes, and there's only 27 in total. And he has a focus episode before Jonochi does. Meanwhile, out of 236 episodes, including Capsule Monsters, Tristan only gets 1.
Capsule Monsters was just made for the American market.
But if you include that, out of 236 episodes, Tristan only gets 1 episode. 1.
Poor Honda.
Out of 200 plus episodes, just 1. And not until season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Poor Honda.
That 1 episode. Can't even You can't even count the one episode where like he almost kills Duke Devlin by throwing him out over the blimp because they're both over the blimp and it's not even a Tristan focus episode. But yeah, so like at least Ultraman Blue got 2 episodes. Did he? Just the 2 episodes? Yeah, 2 episodes earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and plus this movie focuses more on Rosso than it does Blue.
As the main series does overall. Although, as we mentioned in the previous installment, even in the second half, like Rosso and Blue don't really have that much focus compared to Tsurugi does.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she gets the most episode and she barely does anything with that screen time other than, oh, I'm gonna quote a historical person because I was apparently friends with them, and yet somehow I struggled to make.
Oh wait, wrong one. Wrong quote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mitsurugi and Tendo should have a quote off.
Yeah. If only like Tendo and Ace did not already have a god off. Yeah. One is the god of light, the other the god of desire. Who will win? Doesn't really matter. It'll be cool either way. But yeah. So they make quick work without Katsumi's help. And of course, we got news reports like, oh, insurance, it's going to skyrocket. How will these ultras taken to like be held accountable? I'm like, we made so many jokes about Power Rangers causing collateral damage, and yet here they actually like focus on that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. And this isn't even the first time this season. A lot of scrutiny, but yeah. Katsu's like, woe is me. They're working on an interdimensional project in order to like bring Ariku back to his dimension. Isami is totally the go because that's exactly what he's researching when he goes away for college. What am I gonna do? I wanted to play baseball with my best friend, but he turned into Malcolm Fink. And then it's like, did someone say Malcolm Fink? Well, I've got news for you, Binky boy. How would you like to go into an alternate dimension where a group of Pigmon need help? What's it? But
from Mecha Gomorrah.
Before I go, can you explain to me the difference between a Pigmon and a Garmon? Because shut up. Now come with me.
Do I need to explain the difference between Garamon and Pigmon?
You may as well. I said that as a joke, but go ahead. Explain the difference between a Zaku and a Goof.
All right. Well, basically, to make a long story short, Garamon was a kaiju that was an actual threat in Ultra Q, but then in Ultraman, they decided to use the Garamon suit, but decided to reuse it as the character Pigmon.
Who is more docile.
So basically budget reasons.
Uh-huh. So basically like every other monster. They didn't even try to make them like distinguishable ever so slightly.
No, not really.
Yada does it. Okay. But yeah, so Katsui ends up being sent to another dimension. He easily wipes out another kaiju. But then the snake thing, which is the main kaiju of the movie, the one that Malcolm came up with, ends up defeating Katsui, so he can't transform, and he's trapped inside the Pigmon dimension. Meanwhile, the snake kaiju ends up being sent to. By the way, I don't get why it's called like White Snake or whatever it's called, because like it's got arms and legs, and not even stubby ones. I mean, like proper arms and legs. Like, why would you call it a snake?
Your guess is honestly as good as mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like I know some species of snake have like tiny little stubby legs because they are related to lizards. But even then, it's like they're not like full-blown appendages. Yeah, so Geet and Blue are fighting it off, and even Trigear's like, well, look who doesn't need Rosso. Don't you feel bad for yourself now? I bet you feel like Sam Collins when he found out his show got canceled. Who the hell is Sam Collins? No one you need to concern yourself with. Just enjoy your stay in the Pigmon dimension. And of course, everyone's suddenly gets their butt kicked. But thanks to the help of Mio, they managed to create a dimension that was originally intended for a Riku, but they managed to use it to bring Rosso back. So yay! All our heroes are back together, and even Asahi uses the gyro that Tsurugi previously used in order to become Regina George.
Regina George.
Shut up, loser. Get in.
Regina George. That's great. No, It's Grigio Regina.
Yeah, I know. Regina George. It just came to me randomly, but yeah, we only wear pink on Wednesdays. But yeah, no, like, so she transforms and they try to fight it off. They almost defeat it, but then out of nowhere, the arms start coming out of the monitor like they tend to do, and honestly, low-key, it kind of reminds me of Malcor from Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, where he just like touches things like boop.
Oh yeah.
So that's two different shows that are obscure and you wish you never remembered. Except at least one of them had nostalgic charm.
Dun, dun, Alien Fighters. Dun, dun, dun. Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills.
Captain Ginyu did it, Toku Sentai did it,
Oh, yeah.
Captain Ginyu's Toku Sentai. There we go.
Toku Sentai.
There you go. Like we made a joke that is 15 years in the making. All right. So, okay, so Trigear messes things up for everyone. They failed to defeat King Snake Man because I don't remember his name. I don't care to remember his name because it's just a generic looking kaiju. Let's be honest. But suddenly an unmorphed Asahi gets a vision of Tsurugi, and she's like, "We are one and the same. We are a bigger whole. Learn to smile more." I'm like, shut up! You had your chance to be all smiley. You squandered it. So then she turns into Ultra Woman Grigio. Yep. Got it right.
Yes, you did. And that's the first time I've seen an Ultra emerge from a kaiju.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's not entirely true. I've seen. Okay, in the sense of like it molted off and became that, because I remember in Ultraman Gaia, remember that eye monster in this movie, Gonkyu? Ultraman Gaia fights that monster and pops out of it and destroys it.
So what you're saying in this case, dust off, change Grigio.
Basically.
Clock off. Oh man, I could be watching Kamen Rider Kabuto right now, but instead we're discussing Ultraman Rube. Nevertheless,
still hoping Shout Factory releases Kabuto someday, but I'm not holding my breath on it.
I'm still waiting on Maji Ranger, but not because I want Maji Ranger, but because I know that Bokenger will be right after.
Yeah.
The better question is Where's Turbo Ranger?
We're getting the main character from Turbo Ranger this year at Morphicon.
Imagine
Where's our
how
DVD
much,
set?
Imagine how many DVD sales you would have gotten just from people wanting to get their copy of their DVD signed by Red Turbo.
Sato.
Yeah. Like that would have been like a fantastic marketing opportunity. It's like how like they could have released Kamen Rider W before Fudo PI came out, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Man, I still can't believe I have 7 more seasons of Super Sentai to collect from Shock Factory. And then I can move on to Kamen Rider, which shouldn't be as difficult considering that they haven't released that many.
Yeah. Well,
really
I can say this. I'm thankful to Shout Factory that they released my favorite Sentai Car Ranger on DVD.
I actually have that one. Yeah.
Car Ranger.
When are we getting Boom Boomer on DVD? But yeah, no, it's yeah. So now we have 4 ultras together, which is cool, but it's still not enough. So then, like 3 of them.
So when Super's just not enough.
I walked into that one. I admit, I walked into Super was just not enough. Ultra Group, the power of siblings. Ultra Group.
Yep. So basically, they get that same crystal that they used in the final episode, except they have it open up. They put it on their gyro, and they become Ultraman Group, who is not a physical suit. It's CGI the entire time.
So, budget ran out, I'm guessing?
I don't know why it's CGI.
Yada. Sometimes I wonder why people make certain decisions. Don't get me wrong, when characters are CGI, they can use movements that they normally couldn't, and because we do get a sky battle, I can't fault it too much, but the thing I hate about sky battles is that you could barely see what's going on. Can't really appreciate the complete choreography. I mean, if they did a close-up where it's like, oh, the suits are practical, and you just have like a green screen background with like a whooshing sky in the back, okay, like you could still do like an upper body choreographed shot, but the thing is, it's like when it's completely CGI and people are just like flying all over the place, you can't really tell what's going on.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that Geed apparently has Akashi Satoru's Boken Bow. So
is Boken Javelin?
Well, it's called Boken Bow until like the spear end comes out.
Oh, right. I haven't seen Bokendra in a while.
Yeah, and then becomes Javelin mode. But the point is, he's got the Boken Bow, which means I would rather watch that. I'd rather watch Geed fight Snake Dude instead of a CGI group fight CGI Trigear, just because, practical and Bokenja reference. But, it is what it is. And then they switch partners for some reason, and then they just defeat the Snake Dude using family-powered beam. Then Diesel!
Baldman!
And now I'm wondering who would win in a fight between the Minato siblings versus the Igarashi siblings. Because you got 3 kids versus 3 kids.
It's a good question.
Yeah, I still stand by the idea that Jean should have been considered the first female second rider, just because she's actually there doing stuff, not just like disappearing for 20 episodes or randomly heel turning for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like they defeat Triggear, or do they?
Or do they? So they go off their merry way, and Geed and his companion with black hole powers manage to go back to their dimension while Katsumi and Isami go off on a journey together. Where to? They're not very specific. See, even Troy Bolton from High School Musical 3 was more specific. I'm going to go to a university that's really close to where Gabrielle is going, and I'm going to dual major in both basketball and in, theater. I don't know how basketball specifically can be a major, and I don't know how it can be done concurrently with theater, but that's what I'm going to do. Look, man, I had an intense sunburn that many years ago. I could not move my body. The remote control was way on the other side of the room. So, 5 Alex DeLarge through High School Musical 3. You're going to listen through the plot of it as I describe it right now.
Right.
Nevertheless, yeah, so we don't know where Katsumi is off to, but apparently he found his dream. And yeah, even Malcolm Fink learned the valuable lesson. Kinda. Sort of. He learned to appreciate his mom, I guess?
I guess.
Yeah, certain parts of this movie did not make much sense to me. But we go into the end credits. Pretty end credits. But then, in the final sequence, we get a cameo from Matthew. What's his name? What's his name? Ferris Bueller. It's like, you guys are still here? Go, get out of here. The movie's over. Go. I'm much too busy to entertain you. Go, Ferris Bueller, Matthew Broderick, that's his name.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick.
We get a cameo from Matthew. We get a cameo from Matthew Broderick. It's like, go, gadget, get out of here. I'm gonna deck your halls if you don't get out of this movie theater. How do you like the Matthew Broderick references I'm making? Actually, now that I think about it, imagine if there's an Ultraman voiced by Danny DeVito. I'm just trying to imagine that. Like, oh, you mess with the wrong planet. I'm gonna show you what I showed them. So I start blasting my Spectra beam. But yeah. Man, I wish I could do a good Danny DeVito impression. I can only do very specific lines, but not freely. If I could do a proper Goldar impression because I can do more than just a few lines from Goldar. I could properly say anything in Goldar's voice. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? But
oh, hey, Goldar.
Yeah, but you can't really. I can't really say you can do a proper impression of a character unless you could say literally anything as that character. If you could only do specific lines that the character said, it's it's you're mimicking the voice, but you're still limited in what you can do with it. But man, and let me tell you, it's thanks to my ability to do freaking Randy Savage's voice that I can do a Paul Stanley voice. How's everyone doing, Los Angeles? But yeah, no, this is why I'd rather do a Gene Simmons voice, if anything. But yeah, no, it's Tri-Gear is go, get out of here, go, why are you here? Go, I'm done, go. Okay, fine, I'll be in the next season. Just go, okay? I'll be back next season. Whoosh. That's the end of the movie. That's the end of the movie. Yeah. So, what are some of your likes and dislikes about this movie?
Well, it's a team up, so that's cool. Well, there's some good fight choreography in there. It was interesting to see Gonkyu at the beginning of the movie, since Gaia is one of my favorite Ultraman series.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I do like Groob's design, but I don't like how it's CGI the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what score would you? So, what are your thoughts on the villains for this one?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
What are your thoughts on the villains for this movie?
I've never really been too fond of Tregear. The kaiju design is all right. So, it's okay, I guess.
Yeah. I have to say, Trigear looks more like a Sentai villain than anything else. If anything, he looks more like a Maji Ranger or Gosager villain, or a combination of the two. I feel like it really feels like they recycled parts from like both seasons of Sentai and just like turned them into a kaiju. And not even.
I never thought of it that way, but all right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the snake dude, very generic. I was more excited to see the Pigmon than anything.
Yeah. Overall, I give the movie an 8 out of 10.
Oh, nice. I would have to agree with you about giving it an 8 out of 10. The plot was very basic to me. It's like, and even like Geed, like Geed's very presence was just unnecessary to the overall plot of the film. It would have been interesting if, like, say, Trigear tried to reverse engineer Geed's wormhole technology in order to be able to like manifest it to the real world, because he seemed to be trapped inside a virtual world. That would have been a better way to implement Geed's presence in the movie. But other than that, it's like he's just there just to be there. Like how in every Sentai season, like whenever they have a crossover movie with the previous Sentai, you have a random cameo from the next Sentai. It's like Go Sager versus Shikinger, and out of nowhere the Go Kaijers show up for like 2 minutes. Or how in Kyoruger versus Jew Ranger and Abba Ranger and Go Busters, we get a random cameo from Tokujers like towards the end of the movie. It's like, at least like they are there because they're the next Sentai to promote the next new Sentai. Even Kamen Rider did the same thing, where it's like, oh, let's have a random cameo from the next Kamen Rider just to promote the next Kamen Rider. But here it's like, he's not even the next Kamen Rider. He's not even the next Ultra. He's the previous Ultra. Why are you even here? Now, here's the thing. If Ultraman Taiga showed up in the plot, that would make more sense. Because plus we would have more reason for Trigear to want to go after Taiga like during the events of like Taiga. He's not just gonna be like, oh, I was defeated by Rube, so I'm gonna go into space and then come back. But it'll be too late for me because Taiga will have showed up by then. Yeah, so don't get me wrong, I don't have issues with Geed as a character, and I really do like how he has the Boken Bow. It's just kind of weird that he's just there to begin with. And as for Asahi becoming Ultra Woman Grigio, I stand by what I said. Like, she should have become an Ultra Woman in the during the TV show. Maybe in the last 2 episodes, maybe in the last 1 episode, instead of just randomly showing up as a spirit. At least that it would make more sense here. And then all 3 of them could fuse together because I feel like, oh, we're going to introduce a new Ultra character and a new combined form in the same movie. It feels like kind of makes a group like completely shadow the fact that Ultra Woman Grigio is even there. Heck, even if Ultra Woman Grigio showed up at the beginning of the film and defeated at least one kaiju on her own, at least someone could say, "Oh yeah, no, she exists. She showed up." But we have this bigger threat that where like Super's just not enough. So yeah, 8 out of 10. I would have to say like I'm glad the movie's only about 71 minutes long because there isn't really much to it, and I would hate for it to drag for an entire 90 minutes, given what little we're working with.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the series as a whole, like including the movie? Like the 25 episodes plus the movie.
I think Rube is a great series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the movie's pretty good. Could be slightly better. But as far as the series goes, I really enjoyed it. The first time I watched it, I really loved the aesthetics. I liked both the brothers, who are just regular brothers.
Running in an Ultra, the movie.
Yeah. And it's my favorite of the new gen Ultraman series.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, I have to give it an 8 out of 10 because while it had a great start in the beginning, the second half, it just felt like they focused too much on the wrong things. It could have been better. Like it had good ideas. They were just not focused correctly. So that kind of dragged the season down in itself. And while the civilian premise of the movie is a good idea, some decisions in the movie just felt like they dragged the movie down. Like again, like I said before, like Geed is unnecessary to the plot. I don't have an issue with Geed in a vacuum, just not in this Matrix. But what's her name? Grigio completely overshadowed by the fact that, like, oh, she turns into an Ultra and then gets her butt kicked almost instantly. Why is she even there? Yeah, if they made those changes, I would have given this like a 9, maybe even a 10 as a season. But as it is, I give it an 8. It's a good season for like introducing someone to Ultraman, just not continuing with Ultraman. I think Tiga, despite its flaws, spoiled me, as did Blazar. So those are my final thoughts on Rue. Any last thoughts before we go to the comments?
No, not really. I give like the show a 9.5 out of 10. So, I really enjoyed it. So
Okay, cool.
That's all I really have to say.
Awesome. Okay, let's see what you guys in the comments have to say. Namatrix92 says, OMG, so much CGI. Yeah,
He's not wrong.
Yeah, like, it's the same issue I have with that one Kamen Rider movie,
Bless me.
Heisei Generations Final, because there's so much CGI going on, it's hard to, like, appreciate the final fight sequence between Build and, that Remocon dude, the evil scientist. Yeah, that's how... I'm not a big, and again, it's tokusatsu. The thing I love about it is because it has practical effects.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the too much CGI can be bad. Okay, finally, Asahi becomes an Ultra. This should have happened in the TV finale.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, the end of Rube. Yeah, we just finished the season. Feels like it wasn't too long ago when we finished Tiga. Now we move on to Taiga. I'm just kidding. It's Arc. We're moving on to Arc. All right. OMG Ultraman Regina George. Lol.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like I'm imagining like an Ultra woman in a pink hoodie. Because of the Caltine bars. I love these superhuman samurai cyber squad references you made. Didn't even notice all of them right away. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, like honestly, that one form that Geet had really did feel like Servo. So that was kind of weird. Predictions for Arc. Okay, this is an interesting question. What do you think is going to happen in Arc?
He's gonna fight kaiju.
I mean, you're not wrong. He will fight kaiju. Honestly, for me, it's like, how are we gonna go about with cubes? Like, I know we insert those little cubes into the Panku box from Jackie Chan Adventures. I really hope we have like a Justin Stewart moment where like the main character's gonna like twist the thing incorrectly and he gets an error message. Like at least once I want him to like twist it incorrectly so he doesn't succeed in transforming. Let's see. As far as forms go, I hope his forms are going to be, very interesting. Not just like, oh, let's combine two random Ultraman without any rhyme or reason.
Yeah, they kind of seem like they've been starting to stop doing that.
Yeah. Because like with Orb, I seen clips of Orb like doing his transformations. It's like I get that the concept is you're using cards to combine two different Ultramen into a new form, but it's like, is there like a matching thing for them? Like how in Godchard you need to have the two numbers add up to 10? Is there like a thing like Cyclone and Joker where it's like, oh, you have 3 on this side, 3 on that side, so you have a total of 9 forms. It's like, what's the pattern here? I mean, obviously, when we get to Orb, we will discuss it. It's just, I'm really nervous of like having to like figure that out. So I really hope that whatever form changes they do for this season, they're going to keep them really simple. I like the ones from Rube because it's like you just change the color of your suit. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we only stuck to only like 4. Technically. Like we got Taro, Ginga, which still doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Tiga and Victory. Now, Original and Bailal have their own gyros, but you technically use both of them together to get Rube, so that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Then we've also got 7, X, and 0 as extra crystals that they use for their Rube Sluggers that they only used a few times.
Yeah. Yeah. So like those are just strictly weapons. That's fine. That's totally fine. So like that's the thing for me. Arc just needs to keep certain things simple while improving on other things. Blazar did not too bad of a job. So, hopefully we'll be in good hands. I'm still expecting that, how is this season going to be related to Neos, though? Because Trigger, Decker, Blazar. Next one, Arc should be based on Neos in some way, I suppose. But let's not recycle too much, okay? That's it for the comments, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. Starting next week, we will be doing Ultraman Arc. We're just going to be doing them one episode at a time like we did with Blazar because it's a new season. It's a new season. I'm so excited. We waited a whole year. Well, technically 9 months. But new season. Yeah. And then once we finish that, we'll go back to going to older seasons of Ultraman. Maybe we'll stick to the formula of doing, a 50-episode season and a 25-episode season just so that we can just catch up on as much as possible. Wednesdays, we do Kamen Rider Gotchard. On Thursdays, we usually do Bakage Sentai Boom Boomcher. But because it's 4th of July and we don't want you American fans to miss out, we'll be doing Boom Boomger on Friday this week. And of course, on Sunday, we are doing Kamen Rider 5s. And yes, we did do episodes 9 through 13 just this past week. Yes, episodes 9 through 13. Yes, we did that. So, yeah, say hi to Mr. J for us. Also, check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do more reviews, video game news, etc. And we did the Naked Gun trilogy, the Crow tetralogy, the Shrek tetralogy, and this later this week we will be doing the 1990 Christian Slater film Pump Up the Volume. And this movie was classic. Can't wait to discuss it. Definitely check it out on the Buttery Show when we get to it. We also have vlogs. We recently uploaded our vlog for Robo Toy Fest, so check that out. And if you want to find our personal content, where can the people find you?
You can find me at youtube.com, Axel Ranger.
And you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. With all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kits, hug your loved ones, and also be double safe if you're going to a certain place this weekend. You know what that place is. You know who you are. Don't say I didn't warn you. Bring extra water. Your health and safety is more important than getting that random Neko girl statue or whatever it is you're pining for when you go there to downtown LA. You know who you are. You know where you're going. And, of course, we will see you at Power Morphicon in August 23rd to the 25th. Get your tickets today. And with that said, we'll see you all next time. Goodbye.